Hey and howdy everyone, it's Jeannie with Paper Pixie Ink, and today I'm going to do a very quick kind of show and tell, I guess, of this album that I made. It's very simplistic, but kind of cute, and I like that I can kind of change things up because it uses the rings, these are like planner rings, or at least that's how I've always seen them before, but I saw an picture on Instagram that showed somebody using these to make an album. And I wanted to see if I could recreate it. My rings are bigger because I wanted, it's kind of chunky. I don't know if you can, see that, but it's kind of chunky. So I'll probably be making a few of these just because I like the fact that you can change out the pages on the inside. So this is not necessarily like attached, so I can change out the rings. I could make my covers generic, so I can, change them out for seasons or whatever. So let's take a look. Okay, so I used just a piece of pink elastic that I had in my stash. I have a few different colors. I do use them for like journals and stuff, which I know I haven't really shared with you all, but I have it in my stash and I thought it went with the paper fairly well. So this is some more of the paper from the Moonflower Magic paper pad. It is, or was, one from Recollections. So it was a 48-page 12 by 12 paper pad. I've showed a few different projects that I made using the pad. This is another. I will be sharing another, which will have used up pretty much all of the paper from that one pad. But because I like the paper so much, I do have multiple pads of it. So we'll see more projects in the future with that probably. So I kept my cover basic. I did cut out the space for this, so I made my cover kind of the same way that I always do, except for my, spine was 2 pieces, and my front cover had a piece cut out of it, but it is still wrapped in cardstock, like my others. I'm not sure, I don't have a video tutorial for this because I was just playing around and I wanted to see, what the possibilities were. But I may do one in the future if there is enough interest. I find, generally speaking, that my walkthrough videos get a lot of interest, but there's not as much interest in my tutorials, and my tutorials take, 20 times longer to produce than a walkthrough video. So I'm giving some thought to how I'm going to handle that situation, but I like sharing with you all. So the cover has, this is a Sizzix die. It is, I don't think it's available anymore. It was a Tim Holtz ornate frame, ornate oval frame, ornate frame something. But I just took a piece of chipboard and I covered it in some holographic kind of paper, cardstock, and then I die cut it out. Typically I would have die cut it out upside down so that the smooth side came out on top. Kind of hard to explain, but I opted, because my cutting plates are actually kind of getting really old and probably need to be replaced, but they have a lot of texture to them because of all of the cuts on them, and I don't know if you can tell, but I actually use that to my advantage to add texture to the iridescent holographic whatever paper. So I did back it with some more paper from the paper pad, different from the paper on the cover, and then these are little phrases that I typed up and printed from Canva, and I like using them throughout my albums. You guys have probably seen me use those before. Again, if you want to know how I make those myself, and I know you can, there's lots of different companies that have like stickers or whatever that you can, you know, buy. And I do have a lot of those in my collection. But I like the fact that I can do these in any color. Once I created one, I can change the background color instantaneously and print it on my printer. So I can make these to match any project. I keep black with white writing and white with black writing always in my stash, printed and cut up and ready to go, because I like using them in my projects. But I also like the fact that in using Canva, I can create them in any color. So, and they have like a color picker tool, so you can upload an image from a project and then use the color picker tool to actually match the color, which is really, really cool. So anyway, the spine is, I kept very simple, so it's just a couple pieces of chipboard that I covered in black cardstock, and then I cut to, I don't know if you can tell, but these are little hands holding flowers. So I just put one on either side, and then I kept the back really, really plain. So as you can see, these rings I can just pull out and change for any color, or any size, really. This flower here is, I just took a piece of gathered black lace and, you know, kind of sewed it together and created this backdrop for my flower. The flower itself is from my stash. I don't even remember where I got it from. I think I got them years ago from Amazon. Don't quote me on that. It was white, and I actually used some Distress spray stain. So this is Prize Ribbon and Villainous Potion that I just kind of sprayed both, and this is kind of what I got. And then I added some sequins just around here, as well as some rhinestones to give it a little bit of extra punch. So I kept the inside simple, and just added some photo mats that I can, you know, put photos on. I did use one of the We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper punches to, you know, make decorative corners. So I would most likely do that with my photos once I put them in. Here's another flower. You can kind of see the two-tone colors in this one a little bit better than the one on the front. And this is just an envelope that I made using the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch. And I'm just using some simple white Velcro dots. These are, I want to say they're 3/8 of an inch dots. I buy them on Amazon. You can get them in different sizes. I keep them in my stash in white and black. I really like them because they come in really handy. They work well to hold things closed, but they're not so tight that you have to like really pull. And I like that I can get them in white and black. They go with just about any project, either white or black, and they're super easy to use. So I like using them as closures, not as much as my magnets, but when I have situations like this where I don't have, you know, a place to like hide them between two pieces of paper, this works quite well. So we have another page. I did have some issues. My flowers, when I attached them, I thought they were dry. They weren't. It will be covered when I put my photos in, so it doesn't really matter. But note to self, be careful that these are, you know, that anything that you spray or anything that can be wet is completely dry before you actually attach them to your project, or you could do that. So these are just some more of the phrase strips that I made with Canva, and this just opens the same way. I just put in some different pieces of paper from the paper pad, as well as in some cases I've added some photo mats. I will be adding some more. I might add some actual like kind of accordion style little books to put in here with photo mats, but I haven't quite decided. Again, I was just playing around. I do like how it turned out though. So we have a couple more here, and this again just opens up. We have some more. I really like this paper because some of it was just really, really plain, but some of it was very, very pretty and decorative, so lots of options with it. There's another photo mat, and another. So these flowers that I used is what really made this very, very bulky. So if I didn't have these, or I had used something that wasn't quite as thick, you could probably get 12 to 14 envelopes in here. I used the larger rings. So these are the, I don't know, 1 1/4 inch or 1 3/8 of an inch, 1 1/2 maybe, I don't know. But they are the larger rings that I had in my stash. I have 3 sizes. So I have these ones. I have some really, really small ones, which I think I might also play around with. Obviously not with the bulk. And then there's like a mid-size, which is just shy of an inch maybe. So anyway, I would be curious to know what you guys think. It's kind of a different style, but I do like the fact that you can kind of interchange some of these things a little bit. So again, you could make a very kind of base album in maybe like a, you know, just a black, and make the cover maybe, you know, gold or silver or something like that, and just have like a reusable frame so that you could, you know, take pictures out and put them back in, or put in different ones, you know, for based on seasons or years, or, you know, what people do, you know, around Christmas for the December dailies that they do. And then these envelopes are super easy to make. So you could keep the inside plain, like the cover, and do it in like gold or silver foil cardstock or something like that. And then change out these, make these, you know, changeable frames as well. And then change the envelopes out, you know, make a new album to enjoy, you know, for every month of the year or every season. So I'm kind of curious to know what I might do with these, just because I had not seen these before until I saw the image on Instagram. I don't know if I bookmarked it or saved it. I will look to see if I can find the one that inspired me. I will link it for you guys in the description. And as always, I will do my best to link to the products that I used. A lot of these things are not available anymore, I don't think. But if it's not available anymore and I can find something that's comparable, I may share that as well. But this was just me playing, and I really kind of enjoyed it. It was nice to do a different kind of album. I know I've been doing a lot of albums for you guys lately, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them for you. And again, I don't know if I will be doing a tutorial for this. I certainly won't have a tutorial for this one specifically, but I may consider doing one in the future. Again, it just depends on the interest, because tutorials take a lot longer to produce than just walkthroughs. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and as always, if you are interested in seeing more, don't forget to click on that subscribe button. Thanks, everyone.